Hey guys, it's the Sad Knight here, and me and my friends got to see the early release of Honor Among Thieves, the D&D movie. So I figured I'd do a quick spoiler-free review about it. Honestly, I thought the movie was great. It was a silly, lighthearted adventure that reminded me more of a group of friends sitting around a table playing a game than it did some epic high fantasy like Lord of the Rings. They did a great job bringing up the player's experience in this movie, between trying to explain to people your backstory, making a dozen different plans that don't go the way you want, struggling with the specific wording of a spell and how it's actually used, and a bunch of other silly concepts that they did. Now honestly, this movie is one that if you know a lot about D&D lore and locations and characters, this movie is going to be awesome for you because they lore drop a lot of stuff. However, if you're not very familiar with the D&D universe, it might be a little bit difficult to understand what they're talking about half the time. But no matter what, the movie was action-packed and full of a lot of silly moments, and honestly the Chunky Dragon was probably one of the best moments in the entire movie. But they honestly did a good job showing off a lot of monsters from the monster manual. However, there was some iconic monsters that I was looking forward to seeing that only got mentioned and didn't show up in the film, and that sucks, but I also understand that some of them didn't fit the theme of the film. But it would have still been cool to see them. But honestly, if I had to give any critiques to the movie about things that I would have liked to have seen differently, there's only a couple different things. For one, I actually would have liked the movie to be longer. It was definitely go from point A to point B really quickly. Hey, we got to go get this. Hey, we got to do that. Hey, you know, we need this guy so we can go do this. And they kind of rush through these points. But overall, I get it. That's kind of the point of the movie, was to kind of just get to the point instead of dragging it out. But I feel like they could have flushed a lot more things out if they had taken a little bit more time. Instead of being like an hour-and-a-half movie, if it was closer to 3 hours, maybe they probably could have got a lot more done. However, I get this is probably a one-and-done movie, and there's probably not going to be any sequels, and there's no need to build it up and stuff like that, so that's okay. Honestly, if you were to compare this D&D movie to any of the other older D&D movies that exist, obviously it's better. It has a more cohesive storyline that actually mentions way more D&D stuff, and it's actually kind of more novelty for fans, and mentions a lot of the lore and everything else, and of course the graphics are better. The only other issue I have was actually with the experience, not with the movie, which I got to go to one of the early releases, and instead of getting access to the D20 popcorn holder, we had regular popcorn holders. And I don't know if that was just the location I went to, or if that was just something that was limited because of early release. You weren't able to get that item until the official release, but that does kind of suck. Besides that, honestly, even the popcorn holder is cool and all, but I would have actually just liked a simple, you know, special custom D20 for this movie that kind of was iconic to this movie. You give me a little plastic polyhedron dice and, you know, magic rocks that do math, and I would have been happy. So that alone would have been good. I actually would have paid maybe a little bit more for my ticket just to get the extra dice and stuff like that. So I am a little bummed that I didn't get anything to commemorate this moment, you know, in D&D history. But maybe I'll go back to the theaters again, watch it again, because it's worth watching again to get that popcorn holder. Also, if you guys are interested in finding, you know, little Easter eggs and lore and little hidden references, there's actually quite a few of them in this movie. I won't mention what any of them are. Some of them are pretty obvious. But keep an eye out and stuff like that when you guys watch the movie, because there's some really good little references here and there. If I had to rate this movie from 1 to 10, I would honestly give it a 9 out of 10. My reason being is it actually met my expectations for the movie. It didn't blow me away and go beyond my expectations, but it didn't underwhelm me and go below what I expected. It hit right on the mark, exactly what I expected, exactly what the trailers delivered is exactly what I got, and I can't fault them for that. It was a fun adventure. I enjoyed every moment of it. I'd be willing to watch it again. Thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoy the movie as well when you guys go to see it in theaters.